I sort of had a bit of an idea where there was another dam, a fair way away, but yeah, had a general idea about where to go.
Getting to the fishing spot means heading a further 50 miles away from civilization, far deeper into the outback. It's a vast expanse of desert, covering more than 100,000 square miles. Dangerous and inhospitable, one of the hottest places on Earth.
The Australian outback is an unforgiving place. It's very harsh. The heat, you're looking 45 degrees Celsius, stinking hot, simple as that.
But Matthew is confident that he knows the area well and has come well prepared.
We had 20 litres of water, spare tyres, food, tent and all that. I reckon I took pretty much all I needed to take.
Matthew and Shannon drive for over 2 hours, deeper and deeper into the desert. But there's no sign of the waterhole.
We're just pretty much going through a bush track, not well defined on the ground or anything. It's just virtually a couple of wheel tracks going through the scrub.
His 4x4 is a tough vehicle, but Matthew is driving in ever rougher terrain.
You're kidding me. You stay here, it's all right.
What happened, Dad?
It's a tyre. It's no problem.
Matthew has come well prepared and has 3 spare tyres on board.
I wasn't in particularly good mood of changing a tyre at that time of the day. I was sweating, yeah, I was bloody soaked to the bone.
It's all right, it's all done. You all right? Yeah, that's good. Let's go.
With the tyre fixed and 2 more spares in the back, Matthew is still confident he can find the fishing spot. But the desert is strewn with boulders and sharp rocks.
What was that, Dad?
It's the tyre.
I'd only gone a couple of miles and then I had to change another tyre.
It's now mid-afternoon, the hottest time of the day, with temperatures hitting 115 degrees Fahrenheit. And Matthew begins to have doubts about his quest to search for the rock pool.
I was just wondering whether it was all worth it or not, pretty much.
But still eager to live up to the promise he made to Shannon, Matthew decides to press on.
We'll be fine. Let's get going.
By my calculations, we're about halfway from where we'd come from to where we were going. And what's the point of turning around? Might as well continue on.
By late afternoon, and 60 miles out into the desert, Matthew fears he's losing his way.
I'm sure it's around here someplace.
I sort of run out of road, I lost me track. I was sort of a little bit worried that we hadn't got to where we were going.
I could actually tell that Dad was worried. I knew something serious was going on.
With just one spare tyre left, Matthew abandons his quest to go fishing and decides that it's time to get Shannon home.
I had one more spare tyre, but the way I was going through the tyres, I didn't think I had enough.
Dad. Are we gonna be all right?
Then you get home.
I was pretty peeved about the idea of getting a third puncher, again in a sting and eat.
Matthew knows that the 4x4 is their only way out. But with no more spares, another puncture could be fatal. With hundreds of miles of scorching desert all around, there's no way they could ever walk out of here alive.
You all right, sweetheart?
Yep.
Good. Right, let's go.
Are we lost, Daddy?
Shannon said, we lost Dad, and I said, oh, I think so. No use lying to her,
Matthew presses on, hoping to come across a track which will lead them to safety. But just when he thinks he's making progress, the 4x4 suddenly stops in its tracks.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What happened, Dad?
I started rubbing my head thinking what the was going on. Why me? Why such bad luck?
Jump out, sweetheart. We are not going anywhere.
We've run out of track, we've run out of spares, we're stuck. I was supposed to have Shannon back that night, and we weren't going back that night. There was no way in the world.
As darkness falls, Matthew and Shannon have no choice but to camp out for the night.
Oh, I mean, if it had been just me, it wouldn't have been no matter, but I had Shannon with me. She was my main concern. She's always my main concern when she's with me.
And in the remote outback, he's unable to call his ex-wife.
If I could have phoned home, I would have, but yeah, no reception. Absolutely no signal whatsoever. At that point, I was thinking that, yeah, I might have made the wrong decision by not turning around and going back.
Okay, fine. Let's get going.
I was calling myself the biggest idiot under the sun.
Morning brings with it fresh hope. The cold of the night has hardened the ground enough for Matthew to free the 4x4.
We did it, sweetheart. Well done. That's it.
We were feeling really good. It was great to get out. No worries at all. Pretty happy that we're going to get on the way again.
Woo! We are going home.
Yeah.
Woo!
But they've hardly got moving when disaster strikes again.
another puncher. I was cranky. Man, was I cranky. Got no more spares. And, yeah, we was in trouble. Big time.
What happened, Dad?
That's all right, sweetheart. I've got a plan.
Matthew knows that driving with only one flat tire at the rear will put massive strain on the car's axle. So he does what he has to keep it moving. He lets down one of his inflated good tires. He also tries to hide from Shannon the seriousness of their predicament.
You all right, Dad?
We're home soon, sweetheart. Home soon.
So I ended up having 2 tight tyres on the front and 2 flat tyres on the back.
Okay. We're off. Jump in.
They crawl along at only 5 miles an hour, completely lost in the vast, burning desert.
I was in 4-wheel drive and I was just pushing along. Straightened the steering wheel up and just kept going.
We'll be fine. Yeah.
But running the car on 2 flat tires in this scorching heat is putting enormous strain on the engine.
We're in 4-wheel drive, which brings up the revs of the engine a little bit. And because I was concentrating on what I was doing, I wasn't watching the temperature of the radiator and it boiled.
Matthew now faces a huge dilemma. Their car is their only means of escape, but will go no further without water.
We had to put some water in the radiator, otherwise I would have cooked tomato.
But he has only 20 litres left, and in the raging heat of the outback, water is the key to survival. It's a huge risk, but Matthew is determined to get Shannon out of the desert and home safely.
I put 10 litres of water in the radiator and I kept 10 litres for Shannon and myself.
Right.
Matthew struggles on, but the strain on the engine is massive, and it soon needs even more of his dwindling water supply.
The car just seemed to be overheating all the time, and my dad really didn't make out that it was a big deal. I'm sure inside he was probably really scared himself, but he didn't let it show.
By midday, the desert temperature hits 115 degrees.
Whether it was an electrical fault or whether it was dry grass pushed up around underneath the hot exhaust system, I don't know, but I noticed smoke coming out from underneath the bonnet.
Shut up! Shut it! Get out! Run now! Keep running back!
He has just seconds to grab whatever possessions he can
Stay back, baby!
before the car explodes into flames.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
They can do nothing as they watch the car burn. Their only means of escape is destroyed.
And we just sat there and watched it burn, and I was giving her a cuddle and trying to reassure her that we'd be right. Yeah, she was scared. She was very scared, yeah.
What started as an innocent fishing trip has turned to disaster. Matthew's only way of getting Shannon out of the desert is gone.
He just looked really worried, and I don't know, there was just a vibe about him. He wasn't his normal happy self, so I could tell something was wrong.
What's wrong, Daddy?
I told her there and then that we were lost. Good time, big time. That I'd do everything that I could to get us out of the mess.
I'm gonna get you home, okay? I promise.
I couldn't whinge or complain about it. I had to be determined and had to be brave because there wasn't really much else I could do.
It's now been 24 hours since Shannon has drunk any water. Desperate, Matthew considers a terrible option: giving her a drink of his own blood.
That idea came from watching documentaries on telly. I know there's some African tribe over there that can cut the vein on a cow and drink the blood from it. I got the knife and I put it on my wrist and applied some pressure. But it didn't happen, and I realised that my knife was just way too blunt.
What are you doing, Daddy?
Oh, nothing, sweetheart. It's okay.
It was sort of a last resort, really, you know?
Matthew had wanted this weekend to be a very special one with his precious daughter. Now he knows that without water or rescue, she could be dead within hours.
Yeah, we had a big cry together, even though there was no tears. There was a lot of sobbing, but there was no tears whatsoever. We were too dry to even cry a tear. And even to think about it now, like, I feel sad. I feel like I want to burst out in tears, actually. So yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. And I'd hate to ever put Shannon through that again.
Back at her home, Shannon's mum is running out of hope that her daughter will be found alive.
Looking up to the heavens and thinking, you know, if you're there, you know, show yourself by bringing her home. I would have promised everything and anything to have her back safe, yeah.
Their plight is hopeless, but Matthew won't give in till he's done everything he can to save Shannon.
I couldn't sleep. I had to get us rescued, and that was all I was taught. I got a log burning, and I took that out onto the flat and just started waving it around.
Hello!
Just trying to get attention. Somebody's attention, anybody's attention.
Hello!
out of nowhere, this bloody set of headlights are heading straight towards us. The car was coming towards us and then it just veered off.
Over here!
The driver of the vehicle doesn't see him, and their chance of rescue disappears into the night.
The feeling of elation just got shot down in flames. To see those taillights disappearing into the distance was just the worst moment of my life.
With the chance of rescue gone, Matthew is convinced that he and Shannon will not survive the night.
We'd played together, laughed together, cried together, and now we're going to die together.
All rescue efforts have failed to find Matthew and Shannon McGough, and they've gone 2 days without water in the ferocious heat. Extreme dehydration is causing Shannon's organs to shut down. She and her dad are both close to death.
I doubt very much whether we would have survived an 8th day. Pretty bloody sure of it, actually.
Then, just when all hope is lost, they come across a track. It's where the car must have driven past them the night before.
I was not going to leave the track. We're following it in the hope that this vehicle would come back or another vehicle had come through.
But Shannon can go no further.
Shannon wasn't saying much at all. Yeah, very, very quiet. I'd speak to her and she'd just shake her head or nod her head up and down, but she wouldn't speak, so disheartening.
Exposed to the scorching desert sun, Matthew needs to protect his dying child from the unbearable heat.
It was boiling. The heat had risen big time. It was hotter than the last few days. And I knew that I needed to get Shannon into the shade. So I dug a hole in the ground so that I could put Shannon in it and then cover her back over. And that would keep her a bit cooler than sitting out in the open.
But in this remote part of the outback, there's no guarantee they'll see another car for days, even weeks. Matthew knows he may have just dug his daughter's grave.
I was extremely sad because I'd brought my daughter out into this wilderness and that I'd put her life in danger.
After 8 days, battling to keep himself and his daughter alive, Matthew finally gives up.
It was just like It's hopeless. There's nobody here, nobody can see us, nobody will see us. We were going to actually die of thirst, a slow, agonising death.
Dad rushing back over and waking me up and saying that we'd been found.
After 8 days in the outback, their ordeal is finally over.
I felt an enormous weight lift off my shoulders. I felt fantastic.
I still remember the car pulling up and this little girl coming out and me just crying and crying and putting her in my arms. And she said, I know why you're crying, Mum, because you're happy to see me. And I was, yeah.
Doctors estimate that when Shannon was found, she had just a few hours to live.
Yeah, I'd say it's a miracle.
Despite their ordeal, Matthew and Shannon are still close and still go camping together.
Dad probably takes more supplies now and we don't go as far, but it doesn't really change the fact that we still go camping.
I think there was a stronger bond as a result, although the next time we went camping, I wanted to go down this track and she said, don't you dare, Dad, you stick to this one. So, you know.
Hey, honey, do you want to grab these?
Sure.
The Silverwood family, from San Diego, California, is on a round-the-world sailing trip.
These. Hey, Amelia, honey, will you come here and grab this?
For Dad, John, the voyage is the fulfillment of a lifelong dream.
John had always talked to me about going and doing this sailing thing. You know, he said, oh, let's just go buy this boat and go, you know, put the kids on board and go sailing around the world.
There's a lot of different reasons why we went on this voyage. Probably most important to me was that my kids experienced firsthand at a young and an impressionable enough age, just the absolute freedom of being out on the ocean.
Hey, Ben, you want to give your mom a hand?
Okay.
The family has already sailed 20,000 miles.
You all set?
They're now on the last leg of their journey, leaving the South Pacific island of Raiatea and heading for Australia, 3,500 miles away.
Australia, we were going to sell the boat and go back home and put the kids back to school and go back to work.
Okay, guys, come on, let's go.
The family has spent the last 21 months on John's pride and joy, an 80-foot catamaran, the Emerald Jane, bought from his 20 years of hard work in the construction industry.
Emerald Jane, she was just incredible. A great combination, you know, beauty, power, seaworthiness, strength. Her mast, 80 feet tall. I loved every inch of her.
For John's 3 youngest children, Camille and Amelia, and their brother Jack, the trip has been an unforgettable experience. The Emerald Jane has become their family home, as well as their very own school at sea.
We had all the accoutrements of life that we would need, including probably 300 pounds of school books.
But not everyone on board has enjoyed the trip.
Ben. What? You want to come over here, take over? I have to.
John's teenage son, Ben, has found it hard going.
I wanted to go home really badly because I just missed all my friends. And I was still in contact with a lot of my friends via email. So I tell them about stuff, and I really missed them.
6 months ago, Ben discovered that his dad had extended their trip.
When I found out about that, I was pretty angry. I kicked down the door, punched a hole in the wall, and basically threw a pretty sizable fit.
But today, any grumbles have been left behind. They're out on the ocean and heading home.
Amelia and Camille are both playing out on the deck. Jean's busy reading a book. They're at sea. Ben maybe a little bit grudgingly, but they're happy.
Hello. Is everybody hungry?
The Silverwood family while away a lazy afternoon at sea.
No, he did. Was it?
There's a clanking sound up at the mast. Something that had never happened to us before.
You see anything? Shackle. Where? It's loose.
And the boom was now smashing into the mast repeatedly. And we wrestled with that problem for probably 2 hours.
But John and Ben can't fix the sail.
Yeah, I think we leave it for the night, Ben.
I say, look, we'll fix this thing in daylight.
Watch the side.
We have to drop the mainsail down. And we continue on like that.
As dusk falls, John sets the boat's navigation system to avoid one of the many tiny islands that dot the Pacific Ocean. And the Emerald Jane heads into the sunset.
It's glorious. It's glorious. I'm just like at one with the universe.
You guys all set for dinner?
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah?
Below deck, the family relaxes, while Ben keeps watch in the cockpit.
1 more minute, and that's it. Okay?
John takes a rest, and the 3 younger children get ready for their evening meal. It's another night at sea, just like the hundreds they've spent together during their voyage.
I start to hear this scraping sound. It's very light. And I just think in my head, well, maybe it's a floating coconut palm or something we've just hit.
Go back to your picture, honey. It's great.
There's this sharp bang sound.
Then it starts to get louder and louder.
I run into the salon. Like chalk on a board on steroids, man. It's just ripping our ears apart. And my son's voice coming from the cockpit, one word.
Reef! Reef!
He's screaming, "Reef!"
We looked at each other in horror.
And in that same second, I hear this big boom.
I just got thrown a good 5-10 feet.
The Emerald Jane has smashed into a submerged coral reef. John slams the boat's engines into reverse. The boat grinds to a halt on the reef. But their ordeal has only just begun.
This giant wave hits the boat.
The ocean has punched its way through the hull of the boat.
The water just comes shooting through, exploding. I feel like I'm in the scene from Titanic. I just looked at John's eyes, and you can tell he's scared. He's really, really frightened. He doesn't know what to do, and I don't know what to do.
The whole dream of my life was all disintegrating right in front of my eyes. And they're screaming, "I don't want to die, I don't want to die."
In just a matter of seconds, the Silverwood's idyllic sailing trip has turned into a living hell. The Emerald Jane is being ground into a reef in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and is being battered by violent waves.
I know that we're in a world, just a world of hurt.
Seawater is engulfing the vessel, and the cabin is slowly flooding.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
This is the sailing vessel Emerald Jane. We're at latitude and longitude. I can hear French voices, just like static in the universe. But I can't get through.
The boat's satellite phone should work anywhere on Earth. It's a direct line to call for rescue.
And my hands are shaking so hard. I drop the phone, so the phone just dies.
John now activates the boat's rescue beacon. It's their last resort, transmitting an emergency distress signal to international rescue services.
And I see that little red light blinking, and I think, is that signal actually really going way up into space? And is there anybody to hear it?
Our radio wasn't working, our satellite phone didn't work anymore. We didn't know if the emergency beacon was working. We had almost no way of communicating with anybody that we were there.
With the Emerald Jane being smashed on the reef, John believes they must abandon ship.
And I look at Ben and I tell him, "Ben, we've got to launch the life raft." We pull the line that inflates this life raft. You never think that you're going to do it. But in the next second, you absolutely want to hear the sound of that compressed air filling that life raft.
But just as Ben and John are about to launch the life raft,
All the lights on board Emerald Jane, every single light goes out.
seawater has flooded the boat's batteries and cut the electricity supply.
You couldn't see anything in any direction. There was no lights. I look out, it's just pitch black. I knew we were pretty much screwed right there.
Just as it seems things can get no worse, yet another ocean swell crashes over the reef. and unleashes its full fury on the stricken boat.
One of these big waves breaks directly over the middle of the boat. Dad! I'm flat on my back. And I look down, and what I see is just impossible. That mast, that 80-foot mast, is laying right across my legs.
The huge force of the wave has snapped the Emerald Jane's mast.
This huge surge of electric pain just barrages it explodes in my brain.
I heard my dad scream.
The falling mast has also hit Ben, striking him on the head.
My head was just pounding, like my ears were ringing, and I could feel like, you know when you can feel your heartbeat in your head?
And the next thing I know, there's Ben's face, you know? He's got blood coming down both sides of his face, and he's looking down at me. And I pull myself up and doing a sit-up. I'm confronted with these two white bones, the remains of my lower leg, and they're shattered.
You can see the bones sticking out like toothpicks almost out of the side.
The mast has almost completely severed John's leg below the knee.
And beneath that, there's just this pool of blood that's spreading on the deck.
Ben tries to free his father from under the 2,500-pound mast.
This thing is 80 feet long. It's impossible.
And I couldn't like just pull it out.
He's losing huge amounts of blood from his shattered leg. And Ben knows that unless he can find a way to stem the flow, his dad has only minutes to live.
He was in a huge amount of trouble.
Dad!
I said, Ben, my leg's broken. I'm trapped. You're in charge of the boat now. You've got to take care of the family. I watched his eyes. I could watch his expression and how it changed. Becoming a man. I could see that come over his face. And he just looks at me and he says,
Dad!
Dad, I'm gonna get you out of here.
I really didn't think about what the actual burden was on me or the responsibility. My reaction was just to keep doing stuff.
Ben knows his dad is losing massive amounts of blood, and he has no time to spare. He has to stem the flow, or his dad will die.
Within minutes, there's my son.
It's gonna hurt!
And he's got an idea. He takes that line and he wraps it around my thigh. And he's got these big screwdrivers.
I wrapped it around as many times as I possibly could and then linked it together.
Ben's tourniquet cuts the circulation to his dad's leg.
Without that effort, I probably would have died within 10 minutes.
Below deck, the cabin is flooding fast. Jean has to get the kids out and leads them up into the cockpit. Now the only safe haven on the boat. It's only now that she sees for the first time her husband's terrible condition.
He's in horrible, horrible pain. I said, I'm going to go down below and get the first aid kit.
No, Mom!
The medical kit could help save his father's life. But Ben knows that if he lets his mum go below deck, she'll be walking into a death trap.
She was kind of just pleading with me. She could go get the medicine. It'll only be a second. She knows exactly where it is. I told her it's just stupid to go down there because you get, if not killed, hurt really badly.
Mom!
My mom's 5'5", I'm 6'1", so I was able just to hold her back.
No! Mom!
As he was forcing me to stay there, this massive, massive wave came over the boat. Blew out the front windows that surrounded the main salon where I was going. I would have been killed instantly if I was there. So he saved my life.
I understand completely what's going on. I was not concerned about myself. If there was no way to get me in, well, that was that.
Now, as head of the family, Ben is faced with getting the 3 young children off the boat and across the reef to the tiny outcrop of dry rock.
As soon as the wave broke and started to recede, that's when I jumped off the boat. The reef is so sharp, the little coral spikes would go right through my sandals. I had coral cutting my feet every time I took a step.
They're cutting up their legs every which way.
We have the waves breaking on our legs, and our legs are getting absolutely cut up. At that point, I gave my brother the little emergency beacon.
Hold this, get tight, yeah?
I told him, Jack, do not let go of this. This is our only way anyone can possibly find us.
Come to Mommy! Come on! You can do it! Come on!
You've got to get off the boat now, too. You've got to get off the boat.
Come on, honey!
Daddy! I want Daddy! Daddy!
Alone on the boat, John is now in the final stages of life. he begins to give up.
There was no possibility of saving me out there. And I don't have any hopes whatsoever of being rescued. This little piece of boat that I'm on is going to just slide off the edge of the reef, and I'm going to sink a mile down to the bottom of the ocean.
But the thought of watching John die alone on the boat haunts Ben and his mum.
If we don't get him off the boat, he doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have a chance. I have to get him off the boat.
Ben decides to head back to the boat.
Mom, go to the life raft. I'm gonna go to Dad.
But the life raft is hopelessly tangled in a web of rope. Jean pulls at the life raft for over an hour.
Every bit of my mind, every bit of muscle I have, I'm grunting, I'm practically drowning out there. After about 40 minutes, I was completely exhausted. I couldn't do it.
Jean launches into a frenzy, a crazed frenzy, trying to push this raft out.
But just as it seems it will never be freed,
The life raft just comes popping out.
She just yelled at me like, I got it, I got it. We have the waves breaking on our legs and pushing us into the boat, and our legs are getting just absolutely cut up. I had to use all my strength to just lift his upper body and slide that in.
And the pain was intense. It was just a series of explosions, you know? I remember the tears that were just streamed down the side of my eyes. And my teeth are just grit. My son was the ray of hope, the ray of light, the steady hand.
My worries were the life raft would pop some point on the reef, like before we were able to get him to safety.
Every one of those steps, there's just these explosions of pain. It's just pure agony, you know? With that kind of pain, it takes maybe an hour to even begin to leave you. That peak of pain.
finally, the whole family is off the boat. But it's been 10 hours since they crashed and set off their emergency beacon. And John is close to death.
I knew my dad didn't have very long to live. I knew he wasn't going to last like till the next day.
It's been 12 hours since the Silverwoods activated their emergency distress signal. But there's been no sign of rescue. Clinging to a tiny outcrop of rock, the family has all but given up hope. And inside the life raft, John is barely conscious, on the edge of death.
I'm surrounded by darkness. I don't have any connection with reality. I would pray, I'd ask God, in return for my own suffering, in return for my own passing, would you please save the life of my wife? Save the life of my kids.
Ben has done everything he can to save his dad. He can do no more. He's now resigned to his father's death.
As the sun came up, I could see this little star flying on the horizon. So I thought it could be a plane.
Help! Help! Help!
I was ecstatic, like someone knew we were there.
And it gets right over us and it starts circling, just circles around and around and around.
But no sooner has the plane flown over them than it disappears over the horizon.
I could see the glimmer from the star kind of just diminished.
Our hearts sank because we realized, you know, we're not going to get rescued.
Two more hours pass, and there's no sign of the plane returning.
Time was definitely running out for my dad. We need like a medic or a doctor here now. I see this boat on the horizon.
The family's emergency beacon had led the plane to the reef. But unable to land, the crew alerted local fishermen on a nearby island. "15 hours after their boat was shipwrecked, their ordeal is finally over.
That was when I finally let go. I just grabbed Ben and I held him and I cried. I can't even tell you the feeling of elation.
I was just relieved, like I just dropped a huge bag or something.
We're actually going to get out of this situation. John's gonna make it.
The fishermen take the family to a nearby island, where they're evacuated by a medical rescue team and flown to Tahiti. After 8 hours of surgery, John's life was saved, but he lost his left leg below the knee.
How was it to lose a leg? I honestly can tell you, it bothered me not. When I regained consciousness, everything was new to me. Everything was spectacular to me.
I'm so proud of my children. I thought Ben was a 16-year-old immature boy, and he turned into a man in an instant.
Well, a lot of people use the word like hero and stuff like that about me. It doesn't really seem right. I just did all that stuff just because it needed to be done.
I see my wife and I see my kids through an entirely different lens. And I understand exactly how magnificent that they really are.